because Streamlabs is not saying anything about connection problems, and my pretty much everything else is not giving me any issues with issues overall. So that's fun. I actually wanted to check out the server that I'm a part of. Could just be, I think I had the same issue last time as well. So let me take a look and see. Go to the studio. 450. That was just me talking to myself because I missed a video. Well, person that I met recently that's also kind of a VTuber type of thing. I missed them being online. I don't know if you know, but I'm trying to be a good member of the community, and the sense that it's going slow according to this. Well, hopefully it gets better, but I was just talking about my internet connection. Trying to be a good member, which means even if I can't financially support, which absolutely I can't financially support anybody right now except even barely myself, with the way, you know, the pandemic and all that other kind of stuff has been happening. So I like supporting them, you know, through being there. Let's see if I can join this server finally. If not, then I may have to just do the regular. But on that end, let me just double check my internet connection with a speed test. .net speed test overall. And with that, okay, it's Frontier, so that I want to check if it's on my end or if it's on the end of, oh, it's not on my end. Oh, it's absolutely not on my end. This is, I'm getting almost full bandwidth, so let me restart Minecraft. Sorry, it's gonna go blank for a bit. Let me restart Minecraft. While we are waiting, I will, yeah, even the upload speed is good, so that's not the issue. Let's see, I will mention that what my I need to talk normal. What my title says, which is there's more stuff happening. It should not be a surprise to anybody that when people dislike an organization, they will stop at nothing to make sure that organization is no more, or at least has been weakened, etc., etc. So in this case, hololive. Again, I had already mentioned before. If you hadn't watched my channel before, I'm gonna go over a quick overview, maybe 5 minutes max, maybe. The server might be down in this case. If it is, I'll just go with regular. But then I have to restart it for the Optifine 1.13 and all that. On the hololive situation, it is the second week of the suspension, of the 3-week suspension for Coco, Kiryu Coco, and Akai Hato. The personalities Kiryu Coco and Akai Hato. Call them personalities because in order to protect their actual public, their private information, they take on the persona of VTubers, which is virtual YouTubers. A lot of people, I mean, if you're on my channel, you most likely already know about this. There was an issue that China doesn't like Taiwan being considered a country, has actually pretty much bribed a lot of other countries with public works projects and financial assistance and that kind of stuff, what they call soft power. Ah, okay, it's down for maintenance. Okay, not a problem. I'll just go on my regular. Thank you. Appreciate it, Kenny. Kenny 4AG. Appreciate that. Yeah, I thought something was up. It's well, I definitely need to do maintenance on servers occasionally because things will hang, things will be all wonky. No problem. Thank you. So, you know, CCP specifically, not China as a country, not China as a people, but the CCP specifically has an issue with that because they're trying to do the one China policy of uniting China and Taiwan. Not a political guy, it's not my area of expertise, so I really don't focus too much on that. The area where it affects me is where, through no fault of their own, in the sense that it was what Google and YouTube put in their analytics. In their analytics, they end up putting Taiwan as a separate nation. What the heck? Did he kill himself? He did. He ended up killing himself. He popped. How the heck did he pop? Okay, back to what I was saying. Hololive is a Japanese company owned by Cover, a large Japanese corporation. Well, large-ish Japanese corporation for specifically VTubers and virtual idols. Oh yeah, no, I'm not happy at all. But considering what we know now, which is that according to Yahoo, Tanigo, and also the communique they put in our hololive subreddit, they were already receiving threats of bodily harm against Coco and against Akai Hato. So they were the antis, the people who were against them, were that angry that they decided we want to do something now, and we want to do something physical, and it needs to get done. So at that point, the company pretty much had its hands tied behind its back and was like, we either say something, if I'm understanding it correctly. I'm not trying to, excuse them for what they did, because the fact is they should have protected their people better. But the choices were, we leave it as it is and hope that they're not telling the truth, hope that they're lying, hope that they're, just maybe a little bit incensed because of the situation, and, hopefully it dies off, or we take this as the very serious thing that it is and give them a break. Just, say that we suspended them because of, make something up, which they did. They made something up about confidential YouTube analytics that they showed, which is not really a confidential thing. Every single channel you can see your YouTube analytics. Every stream after this, it shows me YouTube analytics for the stream, and every stream that I do. So every creator has that. It's not a trade secret. It's not anything like that, especially not the percentage of viewers. Basically, it just shows, okay, you have viewers in this region. And they did. It showed, the region specifically was, the Asian Pacific region, and Taiwan factored in there. And YouTube themselves had it as a separate country. And what I heard from some Japanese speakers is that the problem is the kanji that they use, which is part of is using Chinese characters that they use there. It's easily confused with top country, when really they meant top region, like top regional power, top regional group. In this case, it was Taiwan, but they use it as a regional group instead of an actual country. But the Chinese netizens saw it as country, and then they got incensed. So that happened on the 24th, I believe, 24th and 25th, Friday and Saturday respectively, I believe, of that week. And what ended up happening is Hato showed it first, and Coco recently brought back Asa Coco, which was basically her VTuber news, like news of the whole VTuber agencies and everything that gets done and blah blah blah. So just her news segment for that. And in one part they had a article written by a Japanese newspaper about how VTubing has spread beyond Japan, and it's now in various different regions of the world. So it fit. Her specific analytics fit, because she's talking about different regions of the world. She has people from different regions of the world, so it fit perfectly for her. And she showed it, thought nothing of it, ended the segment, ended the whole stream, and that was it. I mean, as far as I could tell, that was it. And she finished off everything, all the other segments she needed to do. She went to sleep. The next day, no, she didn't go to sleep. She actually finished Asakoko, and then she had to, because what she does sometimes on Saturdays and Sundays, she does a singing stream right after her main segments. She did a singing stream right after that, where while she was singing, hololive had been informed of the situation, that there were antis, that they were, they had been threatening the talent. They had been threatening specifically Coco, They had specifically been threatening Coco. Sorry, I hit you. Um, and darn it, they have been threatening Coco. They've been threatening Akai Hato. They've been threatening them with bodily harm to actually end up doxing them as well. They said that they were going to make sure that they weren't peaceful, that they were fired, that Hololive would pay for this, all that kind of stuff. So it's the kind of stuff that you would hear horror stories about. And they're like, okay, we need to do something. At that time, Coco was singing in an unarchived stream, a privated stream, and she found out just the hard way. She found out through the chat. The chat said, "You do realize that your video's been privated, and it's been deleted." And she's like, "What? What are you talking about? If I saw the clip, I'm not gonna put it on here because they don't want to show it. Coco doesn't want it to be shown, so I gotta respect what she wants." And she looks visibly confused. First she's like, "What?" And then she checks, and she's like, "That can't be. It can't be privated." And then she goes checking again further. She's like, "No, don't worry, guys. This must be a joke." But she thought somebody was playing a joke on her, like one of her managers or something was like, "Oh, we're messing with you," for whatever reason. She just didn't think that it was going to be an actual serious situation. But it was, because on the 27th they notified everybody about the situation, about what was going to happen, and the mistake they made 3 communiques in different languages, one for China, one for Japan, one for the US and Western regions. And in there they said different things. In the China one they mentioned the one China policy. In the Japanese one they just mentioned that it was the YouTube analytics, and the Western one they just mentioned YouTube analytics. And so they got the 3-week suspension. That's still ongoing. It's the second week now of the suspension. The beginning of the second week pretty much is going to be Monday. And from there, they're going to be coming back. The issues that have been going on is now every single talent that they have, every single talent of hololive, cannot show any super chats on the screen. They don't show their actual chat, their live chat, they're in video chat. They don't show that anymore for the same reasons, because it's you don't know if someone's gonna make them say a racial epithet. You don't know if someone's gonna be saying F China. You don't know if someone's gonna be using the racial slur for Asian people. You don't know what they're gonna be doing, because what they're trying to do is discredit them and make it so that people hate them and think they're racist. So that's still ongoing. We found that the community has luckily banded together. At first there was a lot of vitriol, a lot of racism, honestly, xenophobia. People were pissed. People were just angry, and they were venting. I understand the venting part, but it didn't make the community look good at all. So they vented for about a day or two. The administrators in hololive let them vent. Didn't delete the vents at all, but then later on everything got deleted. That was negative. They put out their new statement. They put out, saying this is what happened, this is what we did, all that kind of stuff. We apologize for putting out 3 different statements, etc., etc. So that has been handled as best they could, I guess. Still don't like it, but it's as best they could do with the cards they're given. So that's not the problem that's happening now. Now, the Coco's being doxxed. She has an IRL profile, but she's being doxxed because, of course, you do the VTuber. You don't want your actual information to be out there. That's why you do VTubing. That's why I do VTubing. That's why I have a guy wearing a squirrel costume out there instead of it actually being me. I don't want my docs out there. Yeah, exactly. They knew, number one, they knew they entered China. They knew that China was extremely defensive about that whole one China policy, that whole situation. They knew that basically, because in order to get into China, you have to have party officials as part of your government, as part of your governing body of your organization, like specifically hololive CN. They had to have the CCP members there as well as part of their whole thing. They also have to have investors be Chinese investors. Basically, China has to be physically invested in the organization. So they do that because that gives them strength. That gives them the ability to make you change the way that you say things, make you stop, kind of hold you by the balls when you are trying to make money there. Be like, if you don't do as we say, we're gonna take the whole company away from you. The problem is that their Chinese talent were also receiving death threats. They were receiving threats of bodily harm as well. There are 6 girls underneath the hololive CN banner. They messed up. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. hololive messed up, and it's not their first time messing up. Mano Alo lost the battle against the antis. She decided it's too taxing on me, on my psyche, to do this. I can't do this anymore. I'm just gonna try to disappear until this all dies down, and hopefully this dies down. But she ended up quitting. She ended up retiring or graduating, as they call it. So it's not the first time they've done this. Happened with Toa beforehand as well, when there was a male voice in her stream, but it was just because she had a friend over, but they thought it was a boyfriend, and because they have to keep the whole say-so, pure entity type of situation in Japan, she got a 2-week suspension as well. So management is doing horribly. Management is not managing the talent correctly. They are basically doing it the laziest way they possibly can. They're just basically like, let's let this thing run itself and let the money roll in. That's what they're trying to do. That's basically what they did. We're not going to be responsible for the girls. They're their own human beings, blah, blah, blah. We're going to let them do what they want. And it bit them in the ass. So the Chinese aunties started, like I said, doxing Coco. They kind of forgave Hato because they were like, oh, she couldn't have known that this was going to happen. But then they thought, because Coco speaks English and speaks to the English side a lot and speaks kind of like to the American side a lot, they thought, oh, she's racist. So she did this on purpose to piss us off. So that's why they went against Coco. And they went hard on Coco. Like, you go to anything that says Asa Coco or Free Coco or any of those hashtags there, you see her getting doxxed left and right. You see the aunties just, doing anti-China stuff with American names, all that stuff. What the community started doing after they calmed down from what originally happened, they decided, heck, we got to protect that because freaking hololive's not going to do jack squat. They didn't do it before. They basically fed them to the wolves. We need to do something to protect the girls who have given us so much, which is true. They give a lot of entertainment. They give a lot of enjoyment in what they do. So they were like, we need to do something. And they did. Basically, people just take time out of their day, their busy schedules, to just monitor. Just monitor and see if there's any kind of weird activity, any weird people with like long ass names and all that kind of stuff that may be trying to do harm to the reputation of Coco and the girls. So that went on. That's done. Recently, though, there's more talent. There's the 5th generation talent for Japan that came out, I think, a month ago, about a month and a half, just about. And that's where Mano Alo was. That's the one that she graduated from. There's Poka Lami, there's Poka Lami Nene, and I can't believe I'm not remembering the other one. Botan, and Botan as well. So they were doing a Minecraft stream, just a live Minecraft stream, one where Aqua was going to basically Aqua supposedly made a fake thing called Aqua Construction Company, and she was showing them around, saying, you can do this and that. We even have an employee here, which was Marine, who's been here for 20 years as cleaning staff. And in that one, Lamy was like, oh, this company doesn't seem like a good company. It seems like a black company because of the fact you have cleaning staff for 20 years. It's not right. It's not right having a person, a veteran run it for 20 years as cleaning staff. And the Japanese aunties, in this case, started going against them. They started receiving a bunch of dislikes on all of their videos. People started unsubbing. The video went on Nico Nico Doga, which is basically like the Japanese version of YouTube. It went on there with it was edited. It was edited in the sense like just that part was said. So out of context, it sounds horrible. What was said? It sounds like you're saying it's not good for them to be for Marine to be a cleaning staff because it's bad, etc. But no, in the whole context, they were messing around. They were just messing around like anybody would, saying curse words and that kind of stuff. People do that all the time when they're playing Minecraft, when they're collabing together. They do that all the time. So they were like, "There's no issue." But several hours later, the Japanese aunties did what they do, and they had to apologize. All of them, all the ones that were left, had to apologize about that. Like, they never meant to offend anybody. They never meant to say anything insensitive. We're going to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Blah blah blah. So they had to apologize without ever actually doing anything wrong. That is where I hate the whole culture that has been popping up, because these girls, it's their livelihood. Yes, they are professionals. Yes, they're supposed to, but they're not. You can't expect them to know absolutely everything that's going on with the world. You can't expect them to be knowledgeable in absolutely everything in politics that's going on around Asia or around the world in general. Like, I don't know everything that's happening around the world. I could say something insensitive on my stream, but because I'm, in the West, a word I say or a euphemism I say, or, I say I hung out with, like, I could say I hung out with my female friend and I went and slept over at her house, when it's just sleeping over at a friend's house. They could see it as like, oh, improper relations between a man and a woman type of thing, and I could be censored in that nation. It happens. It's happened before to others. It's dumb, because I should not be punished for something that's in another nation. Yeah, maybe you can restrict me from that nation, but don't try to cause me harm. That's the way I see it. Just don't try to cause me bodily harm. But these people don't. This one is a little bit less problematic because it is Japanese aunties, and they have a they always look for, I don't want to say anything too negative about them because this could just inflame them further, but they are looking for the next big issue to hit, the next weakness to exploit. As anybody who is a troll or is someone who is wanting to bring someone down, they'll do that. The reasoning I heard, which may or may not be true, it may or may not have some credence to it, but there was a person going around saying that part of the issue is that Niku Niku Doga is pretty much, they have a lot of fans of Niji Sanji and other VTuber agencies there. So in some cases they may okay, that person has said as well, I'm not in their head, so I don't know if it's a fact, but they may very well be doing it to harm hololive because of how popular they are compared to Niji Sanji. Niji Sanji, don't get me wrong, is huge as well, and very popular among the VTuber space. But hololive is raking in the dough. It recently got an infusion of over $6 million in capital to do the English expansion. So that's a lot of capital. That's something that most countries would even be happy for. Like, a lot of corporations would be happy to have that. And some may feel that in order to equal the playing field, they have to play dirty. I know as a fact, because of the fact it really doesn't benefit anybody. Niji Sanji and their staff and their personalities that they have wouldn't want this for anybody, because what hurts the community hurts them. But yeah, that's where it is. That's what's supposedly going on. We worry as a their statements do contradict each other quite a bit, and I worry about like ones like Lami, who she seems very, and Nene as well. They seem very sensitive and delicate to what the fans feel, what is felt in their community overall. So I fear for her well-being, mental well-being. Thing is, of course, I'm not gonna infantilize her in the sense of making her super weak. That's what I mean by not infantilizing her. I'm not gonna say she's weak. I'm not gonna say she needs being protected. No, I'm gonna worry just like anybody that I have a vested interest in, because they're my entertainment. They're the people who entertain me every day. You want to see those people at least not feeling like shit. Like, I like also Robert Downey Jr. I didn't like when he was. I felt bad for him when he was when he had his issues, and I was like, I hope he gets better. Not like he needs my help, but you know, when he had the drug issues before he became Iron Man, I was like, hey, you know, I worry about what's happening with him, and I hope that he starts feeling better. That's as far as I'll go. Not everyone in the community thinks that way, but that's as far as I'll go, and I'll keep supporting them and putting positive messages, like saying, "Hey, you know, I appreciate everything you do. I'm happy with everything that you've made so far. Keep doing the good work you always do," type of thing. Because they'll get over it. Luckily, like I said, it's a much smaller thing, a much smaller group. But the problem is, since we're still in the midst of the Asakoko and Akaihato thing, any excuse that the antis, the people who are against them, have for doing negative things or for keeping the negative publicity and negative vision, you know, visibility of hololive, they'll keep doing it. So they might start, you know, attacking them. Again, nothing I can really do. Honestly, there's nothing I can do other than try to, at the very least, prevent the trolling that I can. Like, I go into their YouTube chats, and I report every single one that's saying, you know, Taiwan is stupid, or like saying, you know, China is, you know, the C word for the Asian people, or they're a bunch of C word for Asian people. You know, that type of stuff. I make sure that gets reported. I've done, like, me and others, we've done thousands of reports through Twitter. I have gotten notified that a lot of those reports have gotten the account suspended. So there's that positive side of it. But unfortunately, the way that they are, the work is never done. One good thing that I have heard from the community is, since Twitter and other organizations, especially Twitter, does not see fake accounts or fake identities in a very positive light. So they specifically do things to prevent you from having too many accounts at once. Like, you can only have, like, things. They have things like you can only have one account per number, or you have to keep, you know, getting different numbers if you're doing different accounts. So eventually, the Chinese that are trying to do the anti thing, they're going to start running out of numbers, because you can only do. Google also prevents you from doing too many numbers for an email address, because they're worried about scams. They're worried about, you know, like the scammers from other countries getting getting Google Voice for the U.S. and then it comes out as a U.S. number, and then they get in trouble for having spam calls coming from their network. So they have those protections in place specifically for that. What the fuck? God damn it! Ah, you bastard! Where'd you come from? Ah, you bastard! You just destroyed a ton of work that I just did. I was like, who the hell's walking around? It's one of them. I forgot that they don't get affected by daylight. There goes a lot of what I built. Okay, that's fun. Now let's try to build it back up. But yeah, that's what I've heard. So eventually, not yet, but eventually they're gonna start running out of options for doing the negative things that they're currently doing, and I hope that's soon. Because their anger seems to be strong in the sense that they want to do things like create fake porn of Coco, like of her her real life personality, the real life person that's behind Coco. They want to do like deep fake porn of her, just to discredit her and make people think she's floozy and all that kind of stuff. And because in Japan and in Asia in general, being sexually active at a young age, especially as a woman, is not seen, or at any age really, as a woman being sexually active without having a relationship is not seen positively in general. Not everyone is like that. Things are changing. A lot of countries are changing as well. So can't, paint it with a broad brush, but in general, that's the way I've seen, that's the way I have been told it is. And Lami and the new girls, they still kind of have, they have their shenanigans that they do. They have their stuff that they do. They mess around a bit, but they still try to keep like the whole say so pure idol type of persona going on, which I can't blame them for trying to keep it, because that's what's giving them money right now. That's what's putting food on their table. And many of them, like, they were struggling streamers. They were like, every single streamer that hololive hires was popular at some point on their own, either through Nico Nico Doga, or like for the Chinese group Bilibili, different organizations, different parts like that. They have popularity. They've had popularity. So they had an audience before, but they of course had to private their original persona, not use it ever again, type of thing, because now they are hololive stars, etc. And they prefer them to erase it, because anything that could tie them to a persona that maybe was a little raunchy or was a little risque in what it said with bad words, or etc., they want that erased from the internet if possible, because the antis, anyone else, will trace it back to them and they will get in trouble, as has happened. But yeah, Lami's more of a caring individual and seems kind of more sensitive to things like that, like mistreatment by anybody. So that's what worries me. Polka, I've heard, is like a long-time streamer, has a lot of experience doing what she's doing, so I'm not so worried about her. Botan is pretty strong as well, and Nene, I'm not sure of. Nene might be another situation where she needs to be taken care of, because by cover, of course, not by anybody else, because no one needs to get into her business, but cover needs to do better. They also have a post on, they put out, I think Yagu was the one who put out a Twitter post apologizing for what happened, and hololive put out a Twitter post as well, mentioning that they docked Yagu in his pay. How cute, he slept with me. They made sure he took responsibility for what happened, which is good. He needs to take responsibility, and I like that it wasn't just the girls who got penalized, but they started mentioning, because the community had a huge outcry. It's like, you need to be careful. This is not going to be the last time it's going to happen. You cannot give these guys this much power. You cannot, be just kowtowing to this group of people. What the heck? What was that? And they said that, yeah, what they're going to start doing now is moderate the chats a little bit better. Like I said, make sure that the super chats are vetted before they ever come out, before they're ever mentioned. That the live chat is not shown. Certain protective measures are going to happen, and they said, please forgive our talent if they ever say anything negative, or anything that may seem insensitive. It is not their intention to say that. Basically saying, They are not know-it-alls. They're not people who are in the know of absolutely everything that could be insensitive. So please forgive them. They don't mean to say those things. They don't mean to say things that will make you feel sad or angry. It's just part of life that not everyone knows everything. Bob, what are you doing out here, Bob? Bob, what are you doing? Okay. My cows have multiplied. I started with 3 of cows, and I started with 2 sheep. But they have bred in like insane animals. Jesus. Still need horses. But so I hope they keep their word. In the sense that I hope they protect the girls now, because it's just, again, I say it's not right. And it not only affects hololive, it affects the community in... Oh, I've never seen this one before. Interesting. Interesting. It affects the whole community. It affects everybody. It affects... I'm a VTuber. It'll, you know, if... I'm tiny VTuber. I'm like insignificant where like only 12 people know I exist type of VTuber. But if I ever want to grow, and I ever end up growing, which is, you know, the plan of every VTuber, everybody who starts getting into this stuff, you want to grow a little bit more, have a larger audience, that type of thing, because you enjoy what you're doing. But that risk is scary. That someone from a far off place that you've never been to, and you probably never will be there ever, it has the sole intent of destroying your life, destroying your livelihood, destroying your reputation, whatever's left of it, making sure that you get negatively affected by what they see as a horrible slight against them. So that in and of itself is pretty darn scary to me, honestly, when I think about it, because it's a lot of power that has been given to them, a hell of a lot of power, especially by organizations like hololive. Like I said, they need to protect their own, and I'm glad they're trying to protect them now. But you give him that type of power, especially a bully, the more power you give him, the more power he's going to want afterwards. It's not just going to be like, oh, okay, you apologized and you seem sincere, so we're not going to do anything. No. They'd be like, all right, we got him by the balls. Let's keep going. They already met our demands on this stuff. They already did, you know, what we wanted them to do on this stuff. Let's ask for more. Let's see what else we can get from here. It's like the people that say we don't negotiate with terrorists, because of course the kidnappers, terrorists, etc., they're megalomaniacal. They're gonna want more. They're not gonna be settling for just, you know, a slice of pie or a slice of cake. They're gonna want the whole damn thing afterwards. And that's where we are right now. Any of their future talent, Hollow Myth, because Hollow Myth is spicy. It is definitely spicy. So Hollow Myth could get affected later on as well. Any future English streams, any future generations of Hollow Myth can also be affected. Like the next hololive English generation can be affected negatively as well. And it's I don't know. For me, it's just the same. I keep repeating the same thing again and again. They should never have gone the way that they did. I can understand they're trying to protect their image, etc., but damn, they've just really messed up. And that's my 2 bits on that whole situation. And that seems to be the consensus now overall, that hololive as an organization did not do enough to protect their talents, did not do enough to make sure that their talents did not have to go through this, did not actually go through this, did not feel the brunt of the pain that they were made to go through. Because it's scary, like I said, having something like that happen. And it was nice, but once you understand what well, the reason why they did it, what was nice was that um, the individuals underneath the flag of hololive, like Watame, I think it was the ones that I do know that absolutely did this. Watame, Toa, I think it was like Noel, several of them. I know Muna always does her recommendations and that kind of stuff, and Low 15 also did the same thing for she's a Hololive China, saying things like "We love you" to the community. Like they're saying like "I love you," be safe, don't feel sad, we're okay. Not like we will be fine. We will keep bringing out videos, that type of thing, trying to assure everybody because it's for a lot of people. This is a large part of what keeps them sane in this pandemic that we're in. Because a lot of people have lost their jobs. They're in the point where they may be getting evicted. In some states, you can get evicted already. In other states, in the union, you can't. It's a very insecure time, and to be able to just disconnect from the outside world and focus on something that's just pure entertainment, that it's another person, of course, you're never going to see. You're never going to know them as intimately as you would know a friend that you have right there in front of you. But for some people who aren't as socially active or as socially they're more socially inept, they're more socially awkward, that type of connection is probably the closest connection they'll have to a human being, willingly. So having those people, everyone start suffering and that type of thing, it's kind of, it affects a person's psychological well-being. And so far, the rest have taken it in stride. Some, like Watame, has been pretty emotional because she's she's part of the same generation 4 of Coco. Akahato is, I think, Gen 1. Yeah, I think she's Gen 1, the first gen. And she was very close with Coco. So, like, very good friends. They would visit each other often. They would collab often, that type of thing. So that affected her personally as well. And I would say it's pretty brave to not. It's pretty strong to show just a brave face and be like, okay, I'm fine. Let's just keep going. Let's keep entertaining. That's what these people are looking for. That's what the several 100,000 subs that you have are doing. That's what they're going for. They're going for you to entertain them. And as horrible as it sounds, and as what's the word I was looking for? As cold as it sounds, that is what they're being paid for. Being paid to entertain. They're humans as well, which is why the community, I think Watame took like a week off because she said for her mental health, because of what happened, she needed that week off. She needed those days off. And she didn't post any videos. She didn't post any Twitter things. She didn't. All of her social media was dead for that week. But like in a sense of like real serious like stuff that she would normally do, it was just non-existent because she needed that break. She needed that week off. And recently she started, doing everything again, but I didn't expect it to hit them that hard. I was like I can understand, Coco and stuff like that, but I can see it because especially in like the Hololive girls and stuff like that, they kind of see themselves as like a family. And if you see, a family member that's part of your same generation just disappear and there's something not of their own making after the whole Mana Alo thing, you're like, please don't make her retire. I hope she doesn't have to retire. I hope that she doesn't have to graduate, because that would be a shame. Because honestly, Coco's like super entertaining. If you haven't seen her, Hideo Coco, her channel's still up, of course. Nothing's happened to the channel. The Asa Coco that had the issue is, of course, deleted. As well as Akai Hato's thing has been deleted, and I think hers has been modified to not have that part anymore, I believe. I'm pretty sure Coco's has been deleted because it's just got way too much hatred out of the other people, saying hateful stuff. But I honestly recommend Coco and Hato and like that, because Coco, she's known as like a shit posting dragon. She'll freaking she loves memes. She tells everybody to do hololive memes, and she does how PewDiePie does the Luai thing, the meme review Luai thing. She does that for hololive memes, and it's pretty darn popular, honestly, with everybody. And it's hilarious. I mean, some of those things, it's funny. Like now, the community's starting to use what they call Japanglish, which is basically English and Japanese mixed in. Things like saying "yabate kura stop" or "komena sorry," that type of thing. That they'll do it because they know it annoys Coco, because she's like, stop using shitty Japanese, stop using shitty translations. Like Google Translate is not a correct translation or program. It won't translate things correctly. And then people started doing memes like for that in the Japanese that they were using was like big chungus green chicken soup or something like that. They would put that in Japanese, and they would just also do super chato time in Japanese. Like an actual like hiragana, katakana, and kanji and all that kind of stuff, and have it translated, so she would end up having to say it, and she would get pissed off and all that kind of stuff. It was kind of like a running gag going on. But yeah, it's a good community. It's doing pretty well considering the circumstances. They've gotten more responsible and more mature as time has gone on, as the hate that tends to come from hurt emotions has died down, and they begun to understand that there is no benefit in fighting fire with fire. The saying stands true as always, which is, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. It's true. You keep wanting an eye for an eye, you're both going to end up being blind, and then it's just what you did to them is going to just keep going, and their family's not gonna like it, the family theirs not gonna like it. It's gonna keep spreading and spreading, and then by the end of the day, the whole world is gonna be blind. And I know this sounds preachy, but that's something that I'm happy that has happened, and I hope continues to stay strong in the community, in the sense that they won't let these people piss us off. They won't let these people split us, because that's what they want to do. They want to cause as much pain and harm to hololive and to the girls as much as possible. Of course, Coco being Coco, when she comes back, she's going to come back stronger than ever. She's going to be doing her shit posting reviews, doing her meme reviews, doing being Coco. I hope. That's my hope. That's my wish. Is that when she comes back, she'll be the Coco that we knew. When she comes back, she'll be the same girl, not changed, not affected by this, because she knows she did nothing wrong. My fear is that this takes an emotional and a physical toll on them, because you can be your own worst enemy in situations like this. You can end up hurting yourself more than anybody else can possibly do, more harm to yourself than anybody else can possibly do. You're your own worst critic type of situation. And that's my fear. My fear is that they will criticize themselves, they will start thinking and thinking and thinking, and the thought won't leave their head that they messed up. And, oh my goodness, like, why did I do this? How did I fix the crossbow? I think I need string. Yeah, I think I need string. Sticks and string, probably. String more than anything. But that's my fear. My fear is that they'll take it too hard. They'll be too hard on themselves, and we'll lose the people that we once had. We'll lose the energy that we had. So that's the fear that I've always had in this situation, and it sucks, because there's nothing I can do. There's nothing anyone else can do. What the hell do I do with this fletching thing? I put it here, but I don't know what the hell to do with it. There's nothing anyone can do other than themselves and their manager and the people who are there to emotionally support them, which I hope they're doing, to help prevent that type of situation, because it does no one any good. But on another hand, what I was thinking of doing is I went up one. I want to go down one. Quiet, Bob. Oh yeah, I really like this on mine. The Aurora, I really like it. It's on one of the resource packs I have. Really like that it has the Aurora. It's a nice little touch. Let me remember, that's like one from the wall. There's this. And I think... Don't come down here, buddy. Like 1 and 1. So there's one here. I think I ended up putting one down here. I may have to change that. Oh no, I don't. I do have a torch. It's probably better here. Let me see. I'll put these back, but I kind of need to see where I'm going. Okay, that's too far. How? This is the furthest. Okay, I went way too far, I think. Okay. This one might still be... Yep, this one's the wall. So, I don't want to do anything beyond the wall. So I will just do here. Basically, meeting the floor. And one benefit that we have as a community is really good fan subbers, in the sense that they are super dedicated. They honestly they go above and beyond what any normal fan subber should be doing or would be doing. It's crazy how far they go. For example, there's one, I forget, I think it's CMT Subs or something like that, who ends up subbing all of Asakoko's meme reviews, like the whole, going through the whole 46 or 48 or 50 some odd minutes that she does for her meme reviews every week. They go through it, and they do it. They just do all of it. Whoops, I think I messed up. What are you doing down here, Bob? But yeah, and Hato was just starting to get comfortable with being Hachama. Her alternate personality now is the main personality. Her alter ego, as they call it. Her alter ego is now the main one. And her channels now become, instead of Akai Hato, which was supposed to be Seiso, now it's Hachama. So she was starting to get comfortable with that. She's in Australia, so luckily they don't have any reach against her like they did with Mano Alo, where they, physically harassed her. They made her fear for her life. They made her fear for her safety. They made her fear for her family's safety. So luckily that's not happening with Hato, but according to herself, she's had some issues pop up. And that unfortunately can draw people to be destructive, unfortunately. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Hopefully, like I said, she is in a better mindset. But there's nothing I can do to help that, other than just keep sending, positive vibes and all that kind of fun stuff. Did I go too far again? Yes, I think I did. Yeah, my house is not that big. Okay, let's do this. Now, with this, what I want to do is make, like, I don't know, smokers and stuff like that down here, so that I can... I think I need, instead of the fletchery, I think I need the smithy. Get the hell away from here, Bob. I'm trying to mine here. You should be like the other Bob. He just does his job. Doesn't try to bug me. Oh my god, I almost hit you again, Bob. What are you doing? Oh god. You suck. Stop it. If you move, I'm gonna end up killing you on accident. Dumb cat. Anyone should have gotten a cat. Okay, time to fill this one up. And like I said, there's no real need for me to worry about people like Lami and them, because they'll be fine. They'll be perfectly fine. They were fine before. They'll be fine again. They'll continue to thrive, to gain subscribers, to do their job as they always have. And that's all I can hope for. And all I can hope for actually is making sure that this doesn't. And good thing I have an iron pickaxe because my diamond shovel is weak. That's the end of that. I almost forgot that I had already seen that was the end of that. Luckily it's not any stone or anything like that, it's just dirt. Dirt, soil, whatever you want to call it. That's what it is. This still goes for quite a while. My house is way bigger than I thought. Ah, but it stopped here. Because here there's nothing. So. Damn it, you keep teleporting. Okay, I can't see. I need to go back. That's the same with my fist. Guess I better just use my fist instead then. It's actually better with my fist. Okay. Alright, so I got where I started. Oh, and another thing right now, the Corona is pretty much on a 12-hour bender for Assassin's Creed. The, I forget what it's called. It's not Black Flag or Odyssey. Syndicate. It's Syndicate. There we go. Assassin's Creed Syndicate. That's what she's playing. She did a 10-hour stream, and now she's back at doing another one. She's kind of skirting the rules a bit, in the sense that she was technically not supposed to do exactly what she just did. Hololive has, because other girls have done streams that have gone on for far too long, like 15, 16, I think, I don't know, one or two of them have done 24-hour streams. This company, correctly so, has decided that 12 hours is the max that you can have for any single video. Now, some have taken it quite seriously and been like, okay, 12 hours, then I go to sleep. Some, like Corona, have kind of skirted the issue and been like, okay, I'll do 10 hours, and then I'll do another 8 hours after that. And, you know, it's still under the 12-hour rule of a single video, but in reality, it's freaking 18 hours. So that's the issue. So yeah, it's tough, but luckily, in the community, we also have a lot of people who love to shitpost as well, and they have been shitposting. They've been keeping it up, and every day you have people who are putting in a new art for Coco, for Hachama, for Kiara is another one that I worry about recently because Kiara has been very unsure of herself, I guess is the best way to say it. She's been very insecure. That insecurity is worrying because it's the type of stuff that'll keep eating at you again and again inside of you until it wears you down. And then when it wears you down, that's when you get like the severe depression. That's when you get things like, you know, deciding I don't want to do this anymore. Deciding even if I do, no one likes me, or that type of thing. Type of thing that people like me who are small usually think of. But she's got a good support system because she's got I think 300 close to 300,000. But she was mentioning something recently on one of her streams, like a couple streams ago, where she said, the Calliope one, the Miro Calliope, I believe. She's like the Death Reaper. She's like, oh, she has her rapping because she does rap. She has rap, and then she's pretty creative with what she does, and she does art and she does all that type of stuff. So, she has said things like they have good things about them. They have good things that keep them, relevant and keep them out there. Keep talents. She's like, I don't have a talent. I don't have anything that can keep me there. She's like, Amelia is kind of like a mom. She has tech support. She's all this kind of stuff. Watson Amelia of Hollow Myth. Then there's Inai as well. Inai Ino, I believe, or Ino Inai, one of those. She's a Kraken. She does really, really nice drawings. Like really, she does good drawings. Or at least the Japanese style and like anime style type of thing. But she can draw really fast and really well. And then you have Gargura, which has a really good singing voice, like a kind of a 80s city pop type of singing voice to her. But she has a good singing voice, so she has that talent. And Kiara was like, I have nothing. I'm master of like I'm good at not what is it something of everything, master of none. She's a master of none, she says. But one thing that she's starting to see is that the community doesn't really care if you're a master of none. If you have the personality, which is what everyone really that's what I go for. I go for the personality. They could have the best gaming setup there. They could have, VR. They could do all this, but if they sound like they're dead inside, then on that end, I'm like, why are they doing this if they seem like they're suffering the whole time? But these girls, I honestly don't know how they do it. I honestly don't know how they do it. They go through some stuff in their life because they end up talking about it in some cases, and they keep the personality on and the personality going for, like, for example, Korone, freaking 12 hours. And now she's already like on her 13th hour, I believe, on her stream. Yeah, she started 12 hours technically, going on 13. But she keeps the personality just straight through all of it. The Korone personality, the persona of her. She doesn't break the mask. She doesn't take the mask off. She takes breaks, of course. Right there, of course, she doesn't do the mask with the breaks. She mutes her mic and all that other kind of stuff. But these girls that do these long streams, these streams that, in many cases, it's from, like, I think Watame recently did the Getting Over It one, the one with the guy in the pot with the sledgehammer type thing. She beat the game. She finished it. She went straight through 8 hours. Over 8 hours it took her. And she did not lose composure. She did not lose the Watame personality. The persona stayed the same. I don't know how they do it. I get tired after 2 hours. I'm like, I use most of my, me, it's because I'm an introvert. Me, I'm the type of person that like, I need to recharge. which is why I don't do usually like the 4 or 5 hour streams or the continuous streams where I'll be, starting in the morning and then finishing up like at night type of thing, like the marathon streams. Because for me personally, I need to recharge. My batteries get totally wasted. They're drained by like the second hour. Maybe I can go by the third hour if I just start, maybe looking at memes and that kind of stuff and doing, that type of chatting. But it's like, I love doing this. I love chatting with people. I love the community that I'm a part of because it has been so welcoming for me. It has been the most understanding group of people I've ever been with, at least in my own personal life. And that's saying a lot. These are people that don't know me. They don't know me from the next guy on Twitter, the next personality that has a Twitter handle that is saying that they're a VTuber. They don't know me from them, but they treat me with kindness. They treat me with respect. They value opinions that I have. Well, when it reaches their ears, they value it. At least enough to not say, "Ah, you're stupid." But yeah, it's those type of things that keep me going, because like I said, I get drained by hour 2. I wish I could be those that are like 6 to 8 hours and they're all perfectly fine, they're all doing great. But nope, me, I'm second hour. The first hour, I'm like, oh man, one more hour to go. But I try to keep it up, try to keep the personality up. It ain't easy with what's going on, but I like having the little bit of rest that it gives me, the little bit of distraction it gives me, and hopefully someone else too. I like just kind of keeping it chill, keeping the streams as chill as I possibly can. No stress, no. But I also don't want to be like Ben Stein, like in Bueller's Day Off, where he's like Bueller, and the exact same tone, exact same register, exact same everything. Yeah, and I don't want to be that guy. But I guess I kind of am a little bit, because my voice doesn't have, what do you want? Sit. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not what anyone else is looking for. That's not what they're going to be staying on my channel for. The times that they do, I really do appreciate it. Honestly, I do appreciate it. Because they could be anywhere else, but at the very least, they're lurking. They may not be actively there. They may not actively be participating, but they're lurking. That's more than enough, because that's what I do on several channels. Because I lurk on, I think my last count was like 60 or 70 channels. And well, I am registered with, well, they're not registered, but I have about 80 to 100 channels that I have followed / subscribed to, including the hololivers, including a lot of Niji Sanji, including Sundaria, including the Voms ones, the Animale ones, like a lot of them I have subbed to. The problem is they all end up, not all of them, but most of them, around 4 to 6 in the morning my time. They're all on. You'll have like 30 streamers, 40 streamers at once. And a lot of the ones that I follow maybe 20% of them, like 20 of them are large channels. Well, all the hololive ones are large, but I try to keep a nice chunk of them small, as in like less than 100 subscribers. And then there are other chunks that have, 1 to 2,000 subscribers. There's another chunk that has over 5,000 subscribers, over 2,000 subscribers and over 5,000 subscribers. Then we go to the big leagues when you start getting to 50, 60,000. I think that's big leagues for us. For a YouTuber, that's the small stuff. That's like a medium-sized channel. A large channel would be like Markiplier or PewDiePie, where you have, or Jacksepticeye, where you have tens of millions. I wish I had that. They work their asses off too. But yeah, I do that. It's thankless work. It is places where, unfortunately, I can't give them the full attention that I would love to give, where, you know, I can see their whole personality, see everything, but I, at the very least, give them the view, and I write a comment. I make sure on every single one of them I write some sort of comment. Like, thank you for the video, you know, it was actually great. I find it funny how you did this and this and that. Little pieces that show that you're trying at least to be an active member of their community. You're trying at least to actively participate in what they're trying to do themselves. And holy crap, it's fully dark for you guys. Sorry about that. And a lot of them, a large portion of them, really appreciate it. Like the smaller ones, they appreciate the fact that I go through that and I say something personal for each one. I don't say like, oh, great video, you know, glad I saw it. No, I'm like, oh, that was a really interesting video. I liked how you did this and this and that. You know, looking forward to the next time you play this and this and that game, or you know, oh, I saw how hard it was. I saw how heartbroken you were. Don't worry about it. Next time you'll be able to get through it, and you'll be able to, you know, beat it. It's just practice. It's just this. It's just that, etc. Because myself, at least, I can tell when I've been watched, in the sense of the comments. I appreciate any and every comment, but certain comments that have a certain sentence structure, YouTube also sees as kind of like a bot comment, so it will erase it after a certain period of time. I don't want my comments to be seen as bot comments, because it's not a bot comment. I'm actually putting effort into the comment. So I don't want it to be seen as a bot comment. I don't want it to be taken away and then taken away from them, because the algorithm doesn't really care if I've watched. What it cares about is if the analytics, the specific analytic percentage or part is handled, like the specific how many comments, how many likes, that type of stuff. If it's handled correctly, if it's handled you know, supposedly by a live human because of the way they speak, then you keep it. You get to keep it. It gets to be added to your analytics. It gets to the algorithm is like, oh, okay, there was some sort of engagement from the listener, from the viewer, the audience, which means it wasn't just some dude who decided, I'm gonna get a view bot and I'm gonna freaking get a bunch of views on my videos, because a lot of people do that. I was very tempted to do that when I started in 2017. This channel started in 2017, and I gave up because I was just like, number one, YouTube isn't helping very much because I get a lot of content claims and stuff like that. Number two, there are already established personalities out there like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, etc., 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 who have a developed persona already. They already have a way of speaking, and their fan base already loves them, and their fan base is helping them expand, etc. So I didn't feel I could compete. I had no confidence in myself. Now, of course, the confidence is a little stronger, but I am fully aware of the fact that like 99.9% of the time I'm not going to do well. I'm gonna have issues with, you know, doing my stuff, with doing my content. Sometimes I'll just be sleepy. Sometimes I will mess up somewhere that offends somebody, and then I start losing subs. It happened a while back. A video, it wasn't anything that I said that was offensive, but it was just a video that they didn't like, and then I just started losing subs. People were just like, oh, this guy's not playing the right type of game. Quite literally, that's pretty much what it was. They're not playing the game that we like, so let's unsub this guy. And that's what ended up happening. I lost, I think, like 75% of my subscribers that time. And I was like, oh, well, it happens. It is something that will happen, something that I personally can't prevent. So unfortunately, that's the best I could do. I am doing the best I can. If it's not enough, then why don't I just go try and do something else? Is what I started thinking. But I came back to it because of the whole VTuber thing, because it seemed like in this case there actually was a place for me, and there actually was someone who would watch, not just be there. And that's what I want in my community. So with that, we have finished the Minecraft portion of this video. Now, we're gonna start the shitposting meme craft of this video. Now, for that, I have to save and quit the title, and quit this game, and then put something in the background because I don't want myself to be doxxed for whatever I may have in the background. Because I'm the type of person who puts a lot of stuff on the desktop, so it looks cluttered as all hell. So, yeah, you know, it gets cluttered. I don't want that clutter to be there. But that's just the weird way. And let me put this out here. And let me just put some more hashtags so that other people can know that I am streaming. Because surprisingly enough, a lot of people don't know that I stream when I do. I try to put up the schedules and stuff, but no, not necessarily the easiest thing to do. So yeah, let's go tweet it. So now I am going to be switching from where I was to, where are you? Stream link. Oh, there we go. The widgets and stuff. I needed to. I am going to probably use. Nope, this one's worse. I was gonna use. Well, yeah. There's nothing insane here. Just my Discord servers and stuff like that. This is one of the ones that I saw recently that I did want to show. This is apparently an Australian artist of Taiwanese origin, basically in the same place that Hato is at. A drawing every day of Coco and Hachama's unexpected 3-week vacation. Very glad she's one of us. Check out her Twitter. She basically, this is what I worry about. This is what freaks me out. This is what, because of my, I'm empathetic towards and sympathetic towards people, but I'm not gonna say I'm like crazy with empathy or anything like that, but I would think I have the same amount of empathy as most people for people who have brought such enjoyment and happiness, like I mentioned before. If I see them like this, or I hear their voice cracking, it affects me directly. It's weird. It's you can call me a weeb, you can call me what you like, but this is something that that actually physically like affects me. I feel sad. I start feeling down because it's like I would hope anybody has that same reaction where you see someone else feeling negative about themselves. You see someone else trying their best and still floundering, still sinking. You know, I want to be the person that reaches out their hand and is like, hey, you know, I'll help you up. These people will never hear me. Like I said, these people will never hear me. They'll never know me. They'll never know who I am from some other random dude who's giving them $100 every freaking stream. I don't do that, but people do. But here's another thing. In Taiwan, if you subscribe to Hachama's channel, you get a free crepe. Good work on the front line, lads. The problem with this, though, is that there are people who are like, ooh, free crepe. Let me log in and subscribe to her. Ooh, I got my free crepe. Now I can unsubscribe. They don't watch a video. They don't see her memes because she does like a whole bunch of meme videos. Like, she memes herself. She knows that she herself is a meme. She's gotten bullied pretty bad by her chat. it's a like a friendly type of banter, but you can tell just by some of the conversations she has with chat and some of the times that she's been on video that it's affected her. Like I put in one of the posts that I put, I said, I truly believe that sometimes comedy is a way that people try to deal with pain. It actually has pain behind it. That what is said during the comedy, like when they're self-denigrating and stuff like that, it's actual insecurities, it's actual pain that they feel, but they're trying to make it into a lighter thing because they know that people, they shy away from it. They move away from it. They're like, oh no, I already have enough shit to deal with. I don't want to deal with your stuff at all. I don't know who you are. I don't want to deal with your stuff. I came to laugh. I didn't come to cry. I didn't come to be a therapist to you. Some people are like that, and that's why people like Hato and Coco, they did self-denigrate. They do all those things because Coco, she doesn't have the best voice. She doesn't have what you would call a made for radio singing voice, in the sense of, you know, like good tunes and stuff like that. She's off key in many times, but it may sound corny. It may sound like, oh man, you're definitely weaving out on this one. It goes beyond that for people like me who enjoy her streams. When she finally started opening up and allowing herself to enjoy herself, imagine getting to a point where, because of expectations that are put on you, you can't enjoy something like, maybe, like I can tell now that she loves singing. She enjoys it heavily. But because of the fact she's an entertainer, because of the fact this is her job, and she has expectations placed upon her, she didn't feel that it was proper for her to sing because of her voice. She felt she, you know, has like, so she sounds like Mickey Mouse on crack, she said, I believe, one time. You know, but when you see her, if you look at one of her singing streams where she's really enjoying herself, that's what you need. It's like going to a karaoke bar where your tone deaf friend is like singing, but he's singing his heart out, and you're like, and especially like in Japan where they have like the tambourines and stuff, you're playing your tambourine, you're freaking jumping up and down, you're freaking, you know, you're rooting for him because he's loving it. The person who's singing is loving it. That's the type of entertainer that I like. They're aware of the fact that they may not be the best singer, but they're making a show, and that's what she does. She makes a show. She moves around her live 2D thing. She, you know, has a prop guitar there for her live 2D, and she uses that on guitar solos. You know, she just fully nerds out on all of her music, all the music that she has on there, and of course on the English ones, the ones that are like English music, like Country Road, and she's done Marilyn Manson, she's done, you know, things like that. She does Lady Gaga and Britney Spears and NSYNC and all that kind of stuff. Rick Astley, those, because of the way that the copyright, the people who own the copyright, the way they kind of troll around and they make life impossible. That's why my only karaoke singing stream, I had to delete it. I had freaking, I think it was like 7 copyright takedown notices that if I didn't take it down in 7 days, they were going to give me a copyright strike. And then I would lose my ability to live stream, and live stream is the only thing I do. So I had to take it down. Why? I was singing karaoke. Karaoke is technically parody, and it falls under fair use in the United States. In Japan, in the United States, I think fair use works. In the European Union, I think, also has fair use. I don't know about like Mexico and Central and South America, but I know, like, in the West, in general, fair use doctrine has prevailed overall. In Japan and in Asia, it's a little different. In Japan, covers already had this issue as well with Mio. Mio was gone for, I think, 2 or 3 months because they had to work out copyright issues. She got copyright struck twice by it was Capcom. Struck her twice. I think she played some Street Fighter or something like that. But in Japan, it's different where you have to get permission from, if you're big, you end up having to get permission from the copyright holder in order to do anything related to what you do, whether it be singing, playing games, showing things in the background, video, that type of stuff. So in the singing part, they go to, for example, Sony Music Japan. They go there and they're like, okay, we know that this is in your catalog. Our talents are going to be singing these songs. Is it alright if we use it? And they're like, yeah, royalties wise, all you have to pay us is, I don't know, let's just throw a number out there, 1,000,000 yen for the song, which would be, I think, $10,000. Still a lot for a song. And then, yeah, you can have your idols sing it whenever. If it's not monetized, then you just do it. And most of their things aren't monetized in the sense that they don't play ads. It's mainly super chats and membership that they use. So for gaming, what they've done is they've gone to the larger ones. Like they got permission now from Nintendo. That's why if you've ever watched Korone before, or any of the other girls, or even most of the hololive girls, for a while they didn't play any Mario games. They didn't play Mario 64. They didn't play anything on Switch that was Mario related. Nothing Nintendo related. No Mario, no Link, no nothing. No Donkey Kong, no any of that stuff. Even if it was retro. Even if, because now in the digital age, now in the age where you have games as a service that the big players like EA and everything have created, where you download a game and the way it's treated is technically you don't own the game. You're leasing it for however long the gaming company wants to keep that the servers active, I guess. Or for however long your gaming system, hard drive, etc., that has that specific license file has it. Once that license is, then you need to buy the game again if you ever want to play it, according to EA and Nintendo. All these new organizations that are going on that end. But I went off on a humongous tangent. I apologize. Let's move on. Another shit post. Posting Mel content every day until she joins Reddit. Now, real quick, and I will actually make this. Hololive subreddit, originally fan subreddit. Hololive Now subreddit is owned by Hololive, is run and owned by Hololive Corp and Cover Corp, with the managers, Yagu, and the girls, for the most part, if they want to join, they're allowed to join, and they are made moderators. So, of the ones that I know that are there right now, you have, that are actually moderators and active and stuff like that, you have Watame, you have Coco, you have Fubuki, who they haven't been able to find. She's not a mod yet, I don't think, because she's showing as a mod. She's active there. Yeah, they're like probably 10 girls or so, I'm thinking, somewhere around there. Mel's not one of them. So this is the one that they put for her. I can lift anything, for I am strong. Can you lift me up? And then it shows a $100 super chat, just some American. Mel, you're a sweet girl, and I love watching your streams. You're such a wholesome and lovely vampire. And then that lifted her spirits up. And that's I do appreciate the people who do that, because for me, this is quite a bit of money. This is like difference between making rent and not making rent money. And usually I'm this close to making rent. So that is money that I can't give, unfortunately. I support them with my views, my likes, and my, hey British, how you doing? Support them with my views, my likes, my watches, that type of stuff. But yeah. So here's Guda's prank, and everyone not in the know for Hololive is Ina, which is the Kraken. She doesn't like cucumbers. She hates cucumbers. So you have Gargura, which is her, the little shark, putting a cucumber behind, and she reacted like a cat does, jumping up into the air. Oh, just I'm doing good. Just going on another meme, not review, but just, meme search for the Hololive girls. Finished about an hour of Minecraft, and I just kind of switched a little bit to this See, with Minecraft, what you missed is I expanded my farms a bit. I have way more farms because I finally got cows in there, and in my pens, I got cows and sheep, and they have multiplied greatly. Greatly, they like filled up the whole spot, and I need to make more wheat because I want them to keep growing. Because I'm gonna keep killing them, so I need to keep making them grow. I'm gonna make them grow until there's no more space, and then I'm gonna start killing them. So yeah, so basically she made a spaceship Inari. And here's Marine's actual photo. No, I'm just kidding. But that's Marine. Marine's like the oldest one there. She says she's on 17. She's 17 season 2. So she's supposedly the oldest girl there. And people are saying, isn't it against the rules to post real faces of the talents? You're supposed to sear the steak, not burn it to a crisp. That's beyond well done. That's Hosho Marine. She is, I think, part of the hololive fantasy. I think that's what it's called. Generation. Each generation has a name. Like I think the third generation I think was hololive gamers. Then on the fourth one, no, I think the fourth one was fantasy. I forget what this one. This one's the one I think that has Noel, Claire, Subaru. I think. I need to see the generations. About that, let me see. Generation, hololive generation tier list. Generation chart. There we go. Okay, this one's I think probably set better. Nope, this one's not. Okay, nope. Now we're going into the meme territory. So, no, that's subscriber ranking. Darn it. Let's go back. Okay, this one probably the fandom wiki is probably going to be showing the members. Okay, here we go. This is the zero generation, as they call it. Sora is part of the zero generation, Gen Zero. Suisei is part of Gen Zero, and the interesting story about Suisei, Sora was scouted directly because of her singing talent. Roboko, I think, for her talent as well. Miko, I think, as well for her various talents. This is kind of like the original idol generation where they wanted to make idols out of them. And that's why it's not a specific gen, and then the first gen starts after that. Suisei was a successful VTuber beforehand, singer and all that kind of stuff. She was doing singing on the side. She learned that hololive was recruiting for their new, because at that point it was brand new, their brand new virtual YouTuber organization. She went, she applied, she was denied the first time. Then part of it because she didn't want to give up her personality. A lot of times when you go through this, you have to give up your persona, you have to give up your personality. Sora may have been something else beforehand. Most likely was Roboko the same thing, and Miko the same thing. Most of these were somebody else. But they are now hololive Suisei, hololive Sora. Suisei, the second time she came, she was like, I just want to be a part of your organization. Tell me what I have to do. They allowed her to keep the original name, Suisei, etc. They changed up her design a bit, but she got to keep basically everything else, and their fans came along with her, etc. Hololive first is Mel, Matsuri, Fubuki, Rosenthal, Hato. Then we have second generation is Aqua, Shion, Ayame, Choco, Subaru. I am subscribed to every single one of these girls, including these up here. Now, Gamers generation, they took from various generations and added some of for them as well. Fubuki, they took from the first generation. Mio, Okayu, and Korone, they just brought specifically for that generation. And they do collabs and stuff. So the third generation is hololive Fantasy. So it was the third generation, it was hololive. Where it's Bekora, which is a rabbit. Rushia is a necromancer. Flare is a dark elf. I'm not sure she's a magician, but she's a dark elf. Noel is like a knight, like a kind of like a what would it be? A Joan of Arc type knight. And Marine is, well, he's a Marine captain in the sense of, like the Marines, like the Luffy Marines, where government Marine. And then you have fourth gen Amane Kanata, otherwise known as Itenshi. Kiryu Koko as Kaicho. Watame, Wata Oji nowadays, because she's kind of has like this thing. She plays off of people talking about how lewd she is. Toa and Luna is an interesting one because she had trouble gaining traction in the community. Luna is technically a 0-year-old princess of some kingdom or whatever. I don't know what kingdom it is, but she's a 0-year-old princess. And because she's 0 years old, she had to start off, because they have to create their own voices. They're told the background of their character and they create their own voices for it, etc. She created a baby voice, like a baby speak voice, like a very, I don't know. I can show an example of it. It's one of those things you have to see more than anything. And that's my channel dashboard. And let me get back. As you can see, I don't get very many views. Let's do Luna channel. Here's the Luna, and here's just a small snippet of what she does, of her sound of her voice. Let me make. See, that type of stuff, the type of like babyish type of talk, that originally, when she started, did not go well for her. She was not picking up fans. They were like, it's kind of creepy. They were saying that kind of stuff like, oh my goodness, it's a little bit creepy. You're pushing this too far. It's too babyish. It's kind of like weirding me out. But then it grew on. She was like, no, this is what I chose. I'm not gonna change my persona. This is what I want it to be. This is what I want this character to be. And now people love her. I mean, she curses up a storm too sometimes, and she has an attitude now. So she's kind of like a spoilt princess now. And yeah, they Luna Hime is what they call her, and she does. She curses at people, saying, "F you if you don't understand my nanodish," which is basically her version of English. Then screw you. I don't need you to understand this. This is my language. And they picked up pretty well after that. Like, these are the hololive 5th generation. There's one missing because that one graduated. So it is Lamy. This is the one that recently these 4 recently got into a bit of tiff with their Japanese fans because they, I said it during the beginning, but I'm just going to go over it real quick. Doing a Minecraft stream, Aqua, which is, up here, 2nd generation, they have a Minecraft server. They're a big organization, so they have a Minecraft server where everybody can play. And she created a quote-unquote, like a quasi construction company to start building different buildings and stuff like that inside the server, and she was trying to hire them for it. And she was saying, oh, we're a good company, people are loyal to us, etc. I mean, we even have Marine that's been here for 20 years as a cleaning lady, etc. like that. And they're like, oh no, I don't like it if you have a cleaning lady that's been here for 20 years, that's not good, blah blah blah. And they took it out of context, flipped it, cut it, and made it just work out of context, and just putting that specific quote, not any of the context on it, not about the Aqua part, none of that was shown. So now they're saying that, oh, you're looking down on cleaning people, it's classist, and they had to apologize for something that they should not have had to apologize for, something that they did not do wrong. They didn't. It's something that anybody. I mean, like, if you see the context, it was just banter. It was banter between generations of hololive, between co-workers. It happens, but unfortunately nowadays, with people being snowflakes on everything, that type of banter will get offended for. They will misconstrue. And hololive, um, they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't, because they're suffering from too much success, in the sense that people dislike them because they're too successful, because they're more successful. Like some small portion of the Nijisanji fandom, which is another VTuber organization, they don't like hololive because hololive saying, uh, if hololive goes down, that means Nijisanji will go up because the fans will have to go somewhere. And then right now, Naka Music is Azuki. Azuki, right now it's Sora Azuki or something like that. It's called the idol group that they created for them too. They just recently did a live event, where it was a paid ticket live event, kind of a virtual live event, where they did an album and all that kind of stuff. These are the girls that they were trying to protect. These are the girls that caused Cover to make the decision that they made, which no one really enjoys. No one really thought was right. I don't even think Cover and hololive thought it was right, but they felt too much heat on them, that 3 weeks should be enough for them to calm, for the anti groups to forget about it. They'll move on to the next thing. We'll manage that. We'll put out the fire then, which isn't proper, isn't good, isn't good for girls, and it's not good for the well-being of the organization, because you're constantly chasing them instead of proactively preventing these things from happening, proactively managing your talent correctly. Then you're just going to be going from fire to fire. You're never gonna be preventing it from starting. You're just gonna be preventing it from spreading. Causes more damage, I believe. So the ones that I do know of, and I have seen, primarily are Artia, Divya, Doris a little bit, and Yogiri. I haven't seen Rosalind, and I haven't seen Echo. The reason is, since they are China-based, and China has banned YouTube and anything Google, they can't go on hololive's primary source of income and primary making videos, which is YouTube, so they're all on Bilibili. Artia and Sivia is the only one that's actually on YouTube because she's outside of China. She is still a Chinese citizen, I believe, but she is studying, or something like that. I think she's studying at a university or something. So she's able to stream on YouTube without that restriction because she's not under the direct laws of the CCP. Artia, same thing. She's outside of the country, but she has family inside of it, so that's why she needed to be protected as well. She is mainly on Twitch now. She moved from Bilibili to Twitch. She has a good sized following on Twitch. Here's the other groups: hololive Indonesia, Risu, who took a couple days off recently because she was sick. Luckily, as far as I know, it's not COVID, but she was sick for a bit. Muna Hoshinova is basically, she's become like a sage type person where she's spouting wisdom just randomly from her Twitter. She's just spouting wisdom. Like that's some other things, like you don't show your character in bad times. You don't show your character by screaming. You show it by tempering what you say or something like that. She's like, the best thing you can do in a bad situation is show your calmness, or she starts spouting wisdom. And Airani Lo 15 is basically, she's like a meme lord type as well, but through Indonesia. And here's the most recent one, the hololive English, Holo Myth, Calliope, Chiara, Inanis, Gura, and Amelia. These are their. She's a Reaper, she's a Phoenix, she's Kraken, she's technically an Atlantean shark lover, but pretty much she's a shark. And she's Watson from Watson and Holmes. Holostar's first gen. Holostars is the male equivalent of hololive. Hololive is it's quote unquote idols. It's all female, all of them. Not even if they didn't even do what Nijisanji has done, and some of the other groups. Like there's one, I think it's Nijisanji, who is a girl a boy dressed as a girl or a girl that wants to be a boy or something like that. Basically, she's a trap, colloquially known as a trap. But yeah, they haven't gone that far, except maybe this one. But Miyabi, Kira, Izuru, Arendesu, Arurandesu, Rika, all male. Second generation Sun Tempo. I didn't even know that was. And it started on the 28th of 2020, June 28th. It's Astaleta, Leida, maybe. Hiro Tema, Yukoku Roberu. And Hollow Stars third generation, formerly known as Rinero, before Tsukishita Kaoru's retirement, now known as Mafia. Nice. Then you have their manager, who also has at least a 2D version of himself. Former members, and I'm glad that they actually showed them because they were at one point a part of it. She's another one who was never able to successfully debut because there was a I don't know if they're gonna actually say it, but there was another unfortunate event that made it so that she had to retire before she even started. On the 25th of June 2018, hololive announced that she would be terminated due to an incident that led to a contract breach. Contract with the artist behind her illustration was also terminated on the 26th of June. She was officially sacked from hololive and her information was removed from the website. Her channel was deleted and she hid her Twitter account. Basically, kind of the same thing that happened with Mano Alo. Somehow, some way, her original information, everything leaked through. Well, basically, when she started, you can't really blame her because it was the whole VTuber being actually having to watch what they say and being professionals and being personalities where like it's your job, an actual career that you can make a life out of. Wasn't even anything big yet. I mean, she's part of the first generation. She's part of where you say you can still pretty much say it's the learning curve. It's the moment where they're barely starting to get their bearings. They're starting to figure out, okay, on when I am independent, since I am the one who's getting the or face cast or other one. I'm the one who commissions it. I'm the one who can decide when it shows. I'm the one who can decide, hey, I'm debuting. Like I've seen girls who are debuting next month or debuting in December, and they've already started showing the commissions that they have for their Ds, for their VR stuff, all the stuff that they're trying to show their art. That's something that they couldn't do there because it was more corporate atmosphere. And Mano Alo, which is the most recent one, was her situation was due to aunties and Japanese aunties in this case. Physically, like they were doxed her. They found out where she lived. They found out her family's phone numbers, every single one of them. Found out her former friends' phone numbers, former boyfriend's phone numbers, her phone number, harassing phone calls, threats. They didn't leave her alone. They bothered her until she was given a 2-week suspension because she accidentally forgot to delete a private stream that she did, Quickcast, I believe, to test out the devices and make sure everything was working properly, make sure she had the workflow down. So she did a private stream, she didn't bring it down, somehow it became public, somehow someone clipped it, and then was able to find out her full design before her actual date, which could be seen as leaking company documents or leaking what would it be? The industry data or like confidential industry information. And she was given 2 weeks suspension as well because the aunties were getting pretty bad, and they got so bad that she was like, "I'm sorry, I can't do this. They're gonna keep bugging me. They said that they were gonna keep bugging me. I'm gonna have to move. My family's gonna have to move because of what's already happened. I don't want to put them under further stress. And she decided, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to retire. I'm gonna have to give up on this. And the unfortunate part is, more likely than not, she is blacklisted from the industry, because no other organization, large or small, is, unfortunately, from a PR standpoint, going to want to take the risk of having her on. They're not going to want to take the PR risk. They're not going to take the harassment risk, possible legal risk, because most companies they are not equipped, as hololive and Cover has shown. They are not equipped to deal with it. They are still very much newbies at this whole thing. They just are. They are unexperienced, even though they've been like the largest ones for the last years. They act like they have no idea what the hell they're doing. And then you have Holostar's former members, which I think also had the same issue. Some I think had to retire because of health. I think his may have had to retire because of health. It's a video. See the statement. It's all in Japanese. Let's see, can I copy it? Because if I can do a DeBell translation. Actually get it. Okay, so DeBell, not 100%, but is the best thing I can do for right now. Is it says for him, it says, thank you for your continued support. Apparently it didn't get too big. Thank you for your continued support of our talents. We are pleased to announce that Susan, who we've been managing, will be graduating from the male group Holostars. I guess they go by the phonetic of HORO, but it's Holostars, as of March 6, 2020. After a long period of discussion with him, we have come to the conclusion that we'll be graduating from the group. I would like to express my sincere thanks. Blah, blah, blah. We know that there will be many occasions when you are concerned about our fans. We will ask to continue to support, patronage our company and our talents. So they didn't actually say anything. But I recall that someone mentioned that one of them ended up going because of health issues. Might have been her? Him? Bobby Niku type thing? It was endorsed by Hololive's branch Holostars, member of his third generation known as Trinero. Twitter account on 10 April 2020. Cover Corp's account announced the end of the contract Kaoru due to personal circumstances. Yeah, I think this was his illness. Kaoru. All of the videos Kaoru's channel have been privated, and most of his tweets were also removed. If I didn't have a farewell stream, he did leave a message on the about section of his channel. It's been a really happy, dreamy time for me over the last 3 months. Thank you all. Yeah, I think this one was personal reasons, so that's probably the only one that left without big hullabaloo. So this is her first Minecraft stream. They basically did like a flip book. She discovered her first crafting table, made her first sword. Okay, they make her seem like a crazy, murderous, rampaging phoenix there. Realizes that killing things with a sword is more effective than using her bare oh dear. Kara discovers the night. Wow, they're eating her up. That's dark. He also realizes that creepers can spawn during the day. I'm still not used to that. Still not used to like watching for creepers. They have blown up parts of my house. Just today in the last stream, I think it blew up like 3 times. The last 2 streams, or before I streamed. But today, I do remember at least 2 or 3 times a creeper blew up parts of my house because I wasn't paying attention. Built her first house, and that was the end of her first stream. She is very wholesome because she actually pays attention to the chat and asks them for assistance and consults with them, because most of the chat has dealt with all the things that has been mentioned here beforehand. And here we have another Peko English, Pekorish, whatever you want to call it, version which Hachama also did. Do not conversation. She put do not talk in chat. That's what Hachama did, and that's become a meme. And I think it, as I mentioned before, it's one of those things that actually probably does hurt her a bit, but she kind of uses comedy to kind of try to go over it. And basically says, you know, do not conversation to other users in waiting room to avoid trouble. So that pick it up. Pardon? And here's Muna and Suna. The moon and the sun. And here's Inanis again. And Mori Calliope called her over. And Gudagar saw her lewds. Yep. The kingdom of lewds is what she saw. What is this? And she still has rice, so she's happy. Okay, that's all it's about. Good end. Okay. And here's the thing with Kiara, that she's kind of a downer on herself. She's getting over it a little bit. She's getting more confidence because, well, she's getting her own community that enjoys her specific traits. Her cheeriness, her peppiness, the way she talks, the way she moves her character, her expressions, that type of stuff. She's very, very expressive, and the character reflects the expressiveness, like about how wide the mouth goes and all that kind of stuff. So she's very expressive. That's one thing that like I like at least about her, and that I've continued to watch hers as opposed to the other ones. I try to watch the other ones as I can, but hers come at a more convenient time. Like right now, Mori is over, but she was playing Doom Eternal a little while ago, like 2 hours, like an hour and a half ago. She was still on. Mikame was also doing it. So unfortunately, when I am streaming, is when they are streaming. So unfortunately, that is a thing that interferes. But I try to at least watch them while they're muted. And like right now, from Deria Kana is also on. But let me read this. Sorry for being a downer always, but you all give me so much power and motivation. I'll try to stay positive as much as possible, but having a sweet and kind support from you all back onto when I feel bad really feels like the comfiest, coziest $10,000 mattress ever. And that's an interesting little slight, an interesting little like showing that she knows a lot. The reason why she says $10,000 mattress is because Coco, before she left for her impromptu vacation, she did a stream where she had just received, according to her, which I don't doubt because she has the money for it, well deserved as well. She mentioned that she had a $10,000 delivered, $9,000 US dollar mattress, but she said it was like 900,000 yen, or like a million yen. So I think it's like 120. That. So he said, and then everyone was like, "How does it feel?" It's like, I don't know, it just feels comfy. And she did a stream where she was, put a prop of a background of a bed, and she put the prop of a sheet over her character, and she was pretending that she was just doing a sleep stream. She was doing a stream where she was lying in bed, relaxing her fans. So that's why she says the coziest, comfiest $10,000 match. They make good money. I think like Mori Calliope on one of her streams that they showed, like one of the fans showed stream data on how much she made just gross, not net. So before YouTube takes their cut, before hololive takes their cut, and any other agency, he was in that one stream, which I think is like a 2-hour stream that she was finally monetized of. She made 26,000 in just super chats. So that's quite a bit. And just assuming that everyone is on the up and up, everyone is scouts on her, not gonna do any chargebacks type of thing. Which YouTube, if you don't know about super chats, if you're a small channel like me, you don't get super chats. But if you don't know about super chats, what they are is it's basically like the Streamlabs donation type of thing. But what the difference is compared to Streamlabs, the organization, basically just acts as a mediator, a go-between, to kind of give you a little bit, obfuscate a little bit your actual private information. basically try to protect your private information. Streamlabs, and it hits directly to your PayPal, and then it goes. They don't take a cut, because what ends up happening is if you want a lot of the nice widgets, a lot of the nice, you know, notification icons that you see on like the bigger streamers, then you use Streamlabs Prime, which I think is something like $4.99, something like that. That's where they get their money. YouTube, on the other hand, 30% they take off the top, and they hold it in kind of like an escrow account for 30 days. So, let's say someone made, I don't know, after YouTube took their cut, after hololive took their cut, overall, let's say Morty, every day that she streams, which she streams every day, she makes 20 grand. That is roughly in a 30-day month is 600 grand. But yeah, no, 20. If she makes 20 grand a day, then she makes 600 grand. If she makes 30 grand a day, she makes 900 grand. In a month, that's a lot. YouTube from that will get their cut of $300,000, just maybe a little bit less, because it's not exactly 33%, which would be 33.33. Third, they take the 30%. So whatever 30% of that is, it's going to be like maybe $280,000 take off. Then from what's left of there, once it gets released to cover slash hololive, they take their percentage, which according to some people is somewhere around 25% as well. When they get larger, sometimes that can move around, as with any agency. They take a large, so it's another 25%. At the end of the day, they're probably stuck with close to half, maybe close to half of what they originally would have gotten, maybe 450K. But with Streamlabs, if you are an independent at least, Streamlabs, you get 900K in a month, which, holy shit, that would be a lot of money. You get 900K in that month. The only thing you're going to have to worry about is Uncle Sam at that point, and anybody making chargebacks, which PayPal docks your account. If you have enough chargebacks, they'll actually freeze your account, because they're weird. They will consider your account as fraudulent in the sense of doing fraudulent activity, because when they do a chargeback, they assume that someone is doing fraud on the account. So, as a Twitch person, you have that. And this was during this one that I'm seeing right here, now that getting back on topic. Top right is Shishiro Botan, which is part of hololive 5th generation. He was part of like some games type of thing, like a panel for them in Japan, like a games convention, the virtual convention that they're having for games. Because she's a gamer. She's good. She's not. I don't know. I'm not good, but she is definitely way better than I am. She plays Modern Warfare, the Warzone of Modern Warfare, and the specific multiplayer Modern Warfare. Does a really good job too. And they had her as kind of like a panel to say things. Basically, that's the only one that is not quote unquote real. Of course, the real person's behind it, but kind of one way that hololive gets their people into popular. This one's not a lewd, but it's content for PP Tenchi, which is Kanata. It's a cosplayer cosplaying as Kanata. Here is one of those 6-cell things of this is you. This is like right here. The girl you love, her wife, probation officer, neighbor, boss, and you. You're just a little shrimp. And here is Rusia. Let me. Just little things that people put on there. They clip it and they put it on there. And sometimes it's the actual artist who clip it and put it on there. She is the Petanko necromancer, or as she prefers to call herself, Rusha is Boing Boing. That's the running gag on her. She's Petan, which is flat, and or at least small, and she says she's very Boing Boing. She's what I would call reverse Boing Boing. but she has that boing boing energy. Now here's a comic that they did. This is representative of Coco. This is representative of Kanata. Story of the why she's a gorilla is because famously Coco told the story of where she was having a problem with the shower head that didn't come off. It broke in the sense that it wasn't doing the shower head stuff, and it didn't come off. She was going to go to the store to get like a wrench or something to be able to do it, and on her way to the store, Kanata was like, "I got it off," and she's like, "How'd you get it off?" It's like 50 kilogram grip strength. She's like, "Okay," pretty much that's what they call it, gorilla tenshi now, because she has 50 kilogram grip strength, which is about 110 pounds in freedom units. So, and here we go. Look a little bit better. Hopefully, it looks good on your guys' side. If not, I'm just going to read it. It says, "A fearsome dragon stalks the countryside, looking for another creature that can challenge its strength. The dragon lets out a mighty roar. Is it a declaration of challenge? An apex predator asserting its territory? Suddenly, it sees a great K," which is for Kanata, "the ruler of all primates, said to have strength that's so legendary the world shakes upon its grip. We may never know." And it goes down to the bottom. It says, "Kanata, open the jar, please, please," because they live together. They live in what they call hollow house. Her, Suisei, and Kanata live together. And she says we really should buy a jar opener. They have those now. I like those. And here's the full-size Rusia. Well, the full-size model of Rusia in a black dress. Using an old X-Men meme material. The original has Wolverine, and this is Jean. Usually it would have Jean's picture here. And now they're looking at Coco and Hato. Here's a sleepy Flare that's annoyed that you just woke her up. And she's the one that I mentioned that she's like a dark elf. She's like a dark elf swordsman or something like that, because her regalia looks like swordsman style. So right here we have the hololive fantasy, and the difference here is that they have switched their characters. This is Flare wearing Noel's gear. This is Rusia wearing Pekora's gear. No, Pekora wearing Rusia's gear. Pekora wearing Rusia's gear. Here is Marine wearing Pekora's gear, Rusia wearing Marine's gear, and we have Noel wearing Flare's gear. Doesn't look bad. It doesn't look off. It actually fits really well. The way the artist did it, it fits really well. It doesn't look off. Strangely enough, it doesn't look off. The only reason it looks off is if you're like a fan and you know each one of their characters. These are pretty much interchangeable and don't look bad. This one looks a little weird because of the pigtails, but this one is just, that doesn't seem like something that Pekora would wear, because he's only pretty much worn this and kimonos, I believe. And her, same thing. Her, she's only worn like this type of dress and I think maybe a kimono. Flare wears kimonos sometimes for her singing streams. They all wear kimono at some point, but yeah, it doesn't look too bad. And here's Kiara and them talk to each other. So I saw Nino Maya Ina's Animal Crossing stream. Ina, I'm not a chicken. I don't know what you're talking about. Looking away. Cause she's a phoenix, but they call her a chicken. So that's one of the running gags there. And she even runs with it. She did KFP, Kentucky Fried Phoenix. So, or Kiara's Fried Phoenix, or whatever they want to call it. In case you don't want to do a non-copyright infringing one, Kiara's Fried Phoenix. And here is a recent one from Subaru's, one of her streams, where she was mentioning how she saw in a previous English live stream, English translated clip, where they had mentioned that Aqua came over to Subaru's house, and Aqua's feeling kind of, because she has, social anxiety, so she isn't able to speak socially very well. Strange since she's online, but she wasn't able to convey that she wanted to hang out with Subaru very much. She finally did, and Subaru, hung out, whatever. And supposedly, they took a bath in the same house, type of thing. And someone put, "Don't worry, the duck and the onion are fine in the bath." So that he put that directly. Basically, she's a duck, basically like a humanized duck supposedly, and Aqua being an onion because I don't know why they call her an onion. I think because of her original style of her head, kind of looks like an onion, like the roundness of it, the specific one of it. And here's Coco Sensei, which is also considered like sexy sensei. She started making nicknames for them. Choco Sensei's nickname is Sexy Dynamite Body. And then in Matsuri, which is one of the resident pervs of the place, is doing the I see you're a man of culture meme material. Here's Lude, so we're gonna pass that one, but I'll give you a couple of seconds to look at it. Oh, and here's Giguk, because Giguk recently watched Coco and Korone and all that kind of stuff. And his fan base also started coming along as well. Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft, since Korone's shtick is Yubi. Just going a little bit quicker through these. I'm almost done. I do have some. Roboco is the one on the left, and the right is her papa, or they call him papa, mamas, whatever. If it's a male, it's a papa. If it's a female, it's a mama. Of people who draw them, the ones who drew their original character, like the ones who are responsible for the live 2D, etc. Here's Ponytail Korone. Aruran, one of the Hollow Stars people, finally has 30,000. Hollow Stars, as you can tell, is not as popular as hololive, for reasons that we may all know, because people like cute girls, especially when it comes to anime girls, anime waifus, and all that other kind of stuff that people say, instead of guys. So the guys have believe me, the guys have thirsty people in their chats, but not as thirsty as the people that are in the women's chats. And this is her playing Assassin's Creed. It's like nobody will notice if there's nobody to notice, so that she kills everybody. She doesn't even try to do anything like stealth or anything like that. Then here's Shishiro Botan for Call of Duty Challengers Festival that happened earlier today, Japan time. Here's Coco, the Coco and the 5 cliffs, instead of the 5 Hokages that are in the Naruto thing, the 5 cliffs, all the Petan girls. We have Rushia, Shion, Kanata, A, which is like their manager, A-chan they call her, and Matsuri. I guess Matsuri's technically that way. And here's Risu, the squirrel, the Indonesian squirrel. She says, "What's poppin'? Of course it's not your chick." And then she got cut off. She's a perv. Lewd. Here's some fan art of Coco on vacation, basically. Unexpected Vacation series, Kaicho Day 6. And here's the EO 15 kind of hiding, and the murderer trying to find her, and says, "Lofi, it's Iofi." She hates when people call her Lofi, as it's IOFI, because capital I in certain fonts looks exactly like a lowercase l, and that does become a problem. And here's Korone for her happy birthday. The other hololive gamers, which, you know, of course, is Gokayu, Fubuki, and Mio, coming to celebrate it for her on the 1st of this month. And here's something that happened with Matsuri, and I guess a guest that she had probably from Niji Sanji or something. She's saying, "Man, Kuzi Sensei is the greatest. He's a hentai artist," and it says, "I really like Geiger counter." Someone looked it up on hentai, on a hentai one, and it's lolly and rape, of course. She's a famous lolly lover of the hololive generation. In Japan, it's very different. In Japan, that's for the drawn ones, it's acceptable, I guess, in their society. It's different. Everything's different. Gargura has surpassed hololive as a company there by subscriber base. She has grown exponentially. By the way, they have only been around for 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks today, I think. 2 or 3 weeks today. She's already at 640. The rest are currently closer to 200, 300. She has exploded. I think a lot of people just connected to her on like a more emotional level, maybe. And here we have something that's going to continue to be memed forever. And I will hopefully be able to show it to you in such a way. Soap. And here it is. 36 seconds. Her playing a scary game. And that's where the meme comes from. She was so jumpy, she was so tense that soap made her made her scream, and that's the meme they made. And here's another meme made for Marine, apparently. Marine, yo, pass the studio keys. You better not record trash. Every once in a while they have 3D collabs, and that's when I guess she had a 3D collab with Flair and Noel. They do that every once in a while. And here's another one with Pecora. Extorting your juniors is a joke. Feeling bad and giving back what you extorted. And then Botan joined the game because Botan went for revenge. She went on like she wanted to murder Pecora. Because she's kind of like the father, the protective father figure. She's a female, but she's like the protective father figure. And what ended up happening is that they did kind of like a collab stream where Pecora was with Polka of Hollow 5 and Lami, and she was telling them that she needed iron because she needed to do some stuff, and she said that if they could give her some iron, and she's like, you're not supposed to have iron on this server. She started lying to them, you're not supposed to have iron on the server. Then she kidnapped Polka, put her in a pillar, I guess, and then extorted Lami for as much iron as they had, which was only like 51 or something like that. And then she felt bad, and she was like, you know what? I was playing with you. It was a joke. You can keep iron. It's not a problem. And unbeknownst to her, she had actually, one thing that's not in this one, she had given away, she had I think 18 in her actual inventory, and she gave away that as well. And that's when Lami later was like, oh, thank you. How nice of you. I think I can find it as well. Polka. There we go. She's looking for iron. Let me see if I can freaking move my guy. There we go. There I am. There she goes. She's basically talking to them because they're not connected through Discord, so she has to type it. Polka's just crazy. She's a fennec fox that's like a circus fennec fox. Hajimemashite. You know Iron Pickle? Strong? Yeah, it's probably the strongest she can get, because diamond is really hard to get in most cases, especially in a big server like that. It's probably impossible to get. There she starts lying to her. It's not good to have iron, like you're not supposed to have iron type of thing. Making her think it's dangerous. And there she goes. She makes a prison. Interrogation. Let me pause it right here. Most of you guys probably will know about the whole. It's like pretty much a meme now in Japan of the. I think it's over here as well. Of the police interrogations where they put a lamp in your face and then you're on the other side, and then in Japan, I think that the meme is they give you some tonkotsu ramen, which is like a pork cutlet ramen. So basically, she's basically doing the whole lamp with the with that. And then Polka starts asking. She starts asking Lami for it through because Lami and her are connected through Discord. Now she starts feeling bad. Your life was in danger. Let me actually get to this part because there is one other one. I think, I don't know which one of these it is. There's one that shows the other side right here. Let me see. There we go. Yeah. There it goes. Basically saying she's being extorted. And there's from Pekora's side. He's like, ah, crap, now I got Lami involved. And then it seems like it's dangerous to have it. She's like, ah, crap, I'm stuck. She's playing along. She's playing along. Now she's been fully. He's only bringing half. Smart. Call an adult over. And there she goes. She's given the iron, and she's like, "Ah, crap." She starts feeling bad. She's like, "Ah, crap! I didn't give her enough." But she had 19 in her own, so your life will be in danger. So now she's taking it. She's taking it pretty far. And then they start freaking out. the mean rabbit, the mean Peko. They're playing along, so it's like she's asking for forgiveness. Damn, that's messed up. See, like she's giving her like sticks. She's giving her like a shovel. She's giving her anything she can. And she's like, "Okay, now you're being released." She's released. She's happy. She's jumping. She's like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And then she gives unintentionally, real quick, unintentionally, she gives away the 19 iron that she had in her inventory. So she didn't intend to, but the other ones are seeing it like as a positive, as like, oh, she's so nice, she's giving everything back. Gomenasai. She starts hitting her. And then Lami's like, stop, stop, stop. Get in the middle as a peacekeeper. Itai. Now she's got a pickaxe. Like the mama saying, sorry, forgive my child. Hey, J-Dank Beams, how you doing? Watching some clips of hololive, trying to explain some memes, the background of it. Yeah. She wants to make her fall. Oh fuck. Oh, that's messed up. Okay, hololive koi. She's gonna make him leave. Everyone has a kind senpai. Bekora is actually pretty nice with what she's saying there. She actually does actually go through with what her promises say. Aqua, she did no Aqua. Muna was asking for. She felt bad because she asked Muna for I forget what it was, something, and lapis lazuli, and then Muna gave her all the lapis lazuli she had, and then Muna later was like, "Oh, I need wool." Yeah. Yeah, between rabbit and so that's the story of that. But like I was mentioning, Bekura is actually pretty good with her promises. With Muna, she showed her the auto shearing farm that they had for wool, because Muna needed wool to, I think, make a carpet or something like that. So this is that part. And then Botan joined the game later, and yeah, she was pissed, but you know, like playfully pissed. And here we have KFC. I don't quite understand, Kara. What's this KFC? Kiss for Kelly. And she's like, Naruhodone. It's like, I see. And that's because she's, according to the fanfic type stuff, she's tsundere, but they're both kind of, they love each other. But she's very tsundere about the whole thing. And she's very open about the whole thing. And there we go. Memes to support hololivers. As a VTuber, it's my job to respect Reddit shitpost. Coco, yes, my Reddit. This is big chungus chicken soup, I think is what it is. It's basically someone made a meme out of this, like, 'cause she says that they use bad Japanese because they shitty Japanese, because they translate with, a lot of people translate with Google Translate, which is actually pretty shitty when it translates stuff. So, and she shoots them. And this is the last one. There we go. This is from a game called, I think it's called Connected or something like that. It's a weird like 2D, 3D thingy. Basically Ubisoft and Ubisoft. So let's end it on that note, on that semi-lewd but not quite NSFW note. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you all for being here for the 2.5 hours that I have made this stream. And Well, I'm not a channel without you guys, without at least somebody here. If it wasn't for you guys, I'd just be some random dude screaming on the internet to nobody's paying attention to him. I'm kind of like that already, but thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Of course, I stream every day, 7 days a week, at 2 p.m. Pacific and 7 p.m. Pacific. I change up usually what I do, but I try to do Minecraft at least a little bit, at least an hour or so a day. And sometimes I'll do Apex. I will do Star Wars Battlefront 2, although that one's starting to have issues. Yep, see you next time. Oh, you got a job. Congratulations, J-Dank. Nice. I'm happy for you, man. Happy for you. And this time, it's good. It's good to have some income right there. Congratulations. So I will see you guys next time. You guys have a great evening. Midday, I think, in Japan. But, you know, evening, morning, afternoon, whichever one it is for your area. Thank you so much for being here.